Hi guys, my name is Mike Morgan from Morgan Designs. I'm a Photoshop artist in Portland, Oregon, digital illustrator. What I'd like to do is teach you a little bit about the basics of getting started in Photoshop. So let's get this screen up over here, and let's just start by opening up Photoshop. Now this is what I'm going to show you about, is how to just set up a basic file to send to a client. Let's get rid of this. So when you first open Photoshop, this is what you see. Let's start a new document. What it's got here is all the recent stuff that you've been working on lately, but let's start a brand new one. Let's hit this new button here. Okay, so it gives us a new document setup, and it's got photo, it's got print, illustration, web, and what that does is changes the height and width and the resolution and whether it's going to be in inches or pixels. So what our goal is right now, and this is what we need to think of before we start a document, is what's our end goal with this project that we're doing. Well, let's send somebody an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper with some artwork on it that they can print out. Okay, so let's start with under print, letter. That's going to give us a 8.5 by 11, 300 pixel per inch document. So that sounds good to me, so let's do that. Create is what we just hit. So this is Photoshop, and this is a blank document here. I see at the top there's rulers, and you got about 8.5 inches, and then on the left you got 11 inches, so that's an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. So over here on the right hand column you got layers. So this is how Photoshop works, is layers. It's got, imagine Photoshop like clear layers of glass. And if I go all the way to the bottom here, you're going to see this layer button, and it says create a new layer. Let's hit that once. Let's hit it twice. So now you see that 2 new layers have been developed. If I were to turn this eye on and off, that makes my background disappear. All this checkered pattern tells you is that it's just clear. Okay, that won't print out or anything. So we got our background on. And like I said, this is just like painting on layers of glass. So let's have layer 2 selected. It's light gray, that's how we know it's selected. And let's take our paintbrush over in our tool palette, and let's double click on this swatch color picker here, and let's do red. I'm just going to draw a circle just for an example, and I see that layer 2 has been affected and it has this circle on it. Now let's select layer 1 by clicking on it one time, and let's pick a different color, maybe black, and let's draw another circle offset, and there you go. And you can hold down on layer 1 and move it up above, or move it back below again, just by moving these around. So now you got, this is the basics of how the layer system works in Photoshop. So just imagine that on a very complex scale. For example, artists and digital illustrators like myself can have hundreds of layers within their artwork file. So this guy has created this space scene, and what he did was he laid down a black background. He laid down this earth, he added some atmosphere on a different layer, he added stars on a different layer, and a moon on a different layer. So this is the basics of how it works. So now if we export this file or save this file, we can't just email it to our client or our friend because they have to have Photoshop to be able to open it. So let's create a file type and save it as a JPEG. The way we do that is we go to File, Save As. If I go to Format, I can click on it and it gives us all these different formats. Let's select JPEG, and let's call this file Intro. Let's save it to the desktop because that's easy, and hit Save. Okay. I already had one with the same name, so it's just going to replace it. A second window comes up talking about the JPEG options. You can do a large file, and it'd be about 693K, or a small file at only 130K. Let's just do a large file for fun, and hit OK. Now you're going to see I can minimize my window by hitting this minimize yellow button. And on my desktop, ready to go, ready for us to email to people, is our intro graphic. Okay, so now this file can be emailed, and your client or your friend can print this out, mark on it, write on it, and anyone can open a JPEG. So that's cool. Okay, so what you have there, that's the bare bones basics of how to get into Photoshop and get started. If you got any questions, don't hesitate to Call me, email me. The email address is morgandesigns@gmail.com. You can hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, whatever you like. I'm not too busy to talk to you. Hope you enjoy the video and have a great day.